Okay, so now that we've successfully built our contract, like once you do that, you move on to the testing phase. So let's go ahead and jump right on over there. There's definitely some stuff I'll have to copy because there's stuff that you need and they don't give you the good template for it. So we want to call our function is create comment section. I believe that it won't be with these underscores, but like this C and this S will become capitalized. And I think I can also see it. Let me see if I do dot. Yeah, this right here. It is getting the type, but it is complaining because it don't have a comment section name. I'm sure it takes an input comment section name. Let's just make const comment section name equals part A overview. Just do that. Leave that to it, and now it's happy. Okay. So if we just run that, to run that and we do anchor test. But actually, I think that we need to get our ID and stuff. Or let me see. Just run it, anchor test, see what happens. I bet that probably still should pass. Not passes. It's initialized. Yeah, I think that it takes care of the ID and stuff. Maybe this matters more, or only really matters when you're working with the website. But okay, so we were able to create a comment section. Now we need to be able to post a comment in that comment section. So you see it creates comment section. Okay, and we're going to make another test for a contract. It posts a comment. I don't know, you can capitalize or not capitalize how you want it. It's there. A test is here, silly. Um, but post comment. I know we need the comment section name, but we also need a message. We need a message that we're saying. Const test message equals M4A message. Okay. You got the comment section, and we got the message that we want to post. So we'll post it. That'll probably be fine, but what we want to do is verify that it's actually working. We can see that the transaction was successful. See, because yeah, the transaction is successful. But yeah, we need to actually get it. So that is one of the things that we're missing, and that has to do with if you want to fetch an account, like in this case, comment. Let me see, post comment. This is a comment that's getting created. Now we need this string. We need to know this string, which we do. We need the comment section name, and we need to have the comment section not post count. So we'll also need to get information from the comment section first. So anyway, to do that, you need to fetch. You got to get the PDA. Like this stuff all evaluates to a number, which is a PDA. You know, it's I think it's a number that it's a 58 base number, the PDA. But yeah, that all of this just ends up being a number, and this function helps us get that number. And then once we have the number, we can fetch that account basically. Um, so yeah, we'll just copy these. They're relatively the same. I think we might have to import something. But yeah, we just throw our PDAs down at the. Do they have to be in there? We also need to import something. The program's there and it's not saying it, so let's go in there, be at the bottom. Did I copy too much? Okay, get rid of that. we need to import something for UTF-8. We import this at Coral XYZ anchor, like, yeah, snow stuff like that. Like, yeah, because it wasn't in the template, was it like that? Unless somebody tells you how you're gonna know. Okay, so like we look at the one for the comment section, right? It has this comment section string, which is this. Look at the one that initialized a comment section, right? This one, the comment section, string, it's being turned into bytes, and the comment section name. So that's all it is. It's just this. This is just turning this string into an unsigned 8-bit array. Let's see, or is it say that if I hold it on encode, right? Just turning it into an unsigned 8-bit array, because that's what it needs to come up with this number. And the number, if you know what the inputs are, like the name of the comment section, in this, then you can always get the same exact number, basically, and that will be what represents that account for that comment section. And then once we have that, then you can access the data, which would be the post count on it. Okay, so enough of that. Let's try to actually use this. So in here, we have our transaction. It's successful. Let me see. We'll do comment section PDA equals this. In order to get this, we need a comment section. We just need the comment section. Okay, and this will be a account set. It's not going to change. So that we should be able to get the PDA, and let's do console.log. We giant the PDA, and it's this. Put a comma in the ren. And once we do that, then we should be able to actually fetch the data. So we'll try anchor test. See if we actually print out some alphanumeric number. Yeah, there we go. There, the public key and stuff. So we got something. So now that we have this PDA, we need to fetch, and it's in this program that you already have. Let me see. Let's just, it'll tell me a lot of stuff. I programmed, how do I do a fetch again? Is it account? Program that account dot. Okay, could you have to pick what type of account? It's a comment section, and then we do the fetch, right? So there's fetch, yes, fetch. Um, there's fetch and there's all, but I think fetch and all is like the only options that you have. There's subscribe and unsubscribe, but that's for listeners. We don't need that. So if we do all, it'll return all the comment sections. If we do fetch, we can feed it up a specific PDA, and then that'll give us that specific account. Okay. Okay. So, const comment section. This is the actual account for it equals that, and we will console log around that. Actual comment section colon. Then we can just add in this, and then this will give us the actual account back. Okay, actual account. We need to await this. When we're fetching, we have to await it. So we just got this promise and it's pending. Try that again. Okay, the actual comment section. So this is it. It has this one property, post count, and it's 0. So we would expect that once we actually successfully, so if we take this stuff again right here, after we've posted a comment, we just throw it down here. When we get this comment section, we would expect the post count to be 1. because we actually posted a comment. And it doesn't look like it was. Let's let's see what we did. Because I mean, we did it after the transaction, after we posted the comment, and yeah, it's the same comment, section name, all that should be fine. PDA should be fine, but the fact that the numbers didn't go up seems problematic. Okay, so when we post a comment section, post count, yeah, +1. But is it because post comment? Let's go look at it. If we made it mutable or not. Let's see. So the comment section, we don't have a mute, and I think I mentioned that, right? Not having a mute on here, and then the value's not changing. So let's try that again. Anchor. I think if you do tests, I think it does build for you, actually. So now let's try this and see if that number updates this time. Okay, see, now it actually updated. So you definitely want to be on the lookout for that. I mentioned that. But yeah, I think that the init makes strings mutable on its own, but if you're calling up like this post comment, you're calling up some other account, you have to put a mute on it to actually make it changeable. So yeah, that's pretty good. And this is where we would do like an assertion, right? In the test. Shoot. Uh, let me We'll see how those actually look. Whereas an assert, you might care. This is just assert dot equal. But I think there's probably assert dot a bunch of stuff. Just this is fine. And we would just assert. Is there something we need for the assert? Yep, from chai. Just assert. We got these semicolons that I want. So assert that the comment section that post count is supposed to be equal to 1 rate at this point. We run that again, and that should still all pass. But there's an actual assertion being tested there in the test. So yeah, and it all passed. There's no failures. Okay, so we can clean up some of this. And we actually don't have to take the transaction from this if we don't want to just to print out this transaction signature. Not really going to use it, I guess. So I'm going to just say no and get rid of it. And not console on that. Um, yeah, we don't actually have to print out anything there once you still could if you wanted to. But, if you just want to see it, this depends on how you feel about it. So this just creates a comment section and it does it successfully. I mean, we could assert that it has a 0. But yeah, all of the objects in the library, they all start out with 0 values and false values. As we're in TypeScript, things will start out as undefined and stuff, but that is not the case. Not the case here. It's a small note on that. So, okay, we have the comment. We need to actually be able to fetch it and look at it. We haven't done that. Um, so let's do this same thing here. But we'll do a comment PDA in this comment, and we add the get comment PDA. But I think they're going to want the comment section ID, which would be this comment section post count. But it should have been incremented from 0 to 1. and that should have an ID of one. Speaking of which, this was something that I would have wondered about, but just to point it out. When you're wondering, like, so, okay, like the post comment, your function gets called, and you have the comment section with the post count, which would have started out at 0, but it goes to 1, and then the ID gets set after it's incremented. And as well, Control F search down here. As far as setting like the seed words or whatever, seed numbers, um the comment section post count, I think it's the number from the comment section, the value of it after it settles and the transaction has gone through, so not 0 but a 1 after the function has gone through. Pretty sure that's how that works, just to clear that up. Okay, so we have that. This should be a 1. We should be able to get the comment PDA. I think I already copied this PDA, which is a comment, the comment section, and the ID, which is a number. Um, and this little bytes to 8. It really depends on how big the number is. That's because what the ID is well, actually, if you think about that, is that even right? Isn't it supposed to be divided by 8? This may not work, so we'll see. Because if it was this divided by 8, it would be 4. But yeah, I know I have a trick for figuring out what number this is, but it depends on how big the ID is, or how big it can be with the if it's a unsigned 32 or 64, etc. Um, yeah, probably should be a 4, but let's go ahead and try it and see what happens. And I imagine we don't get anything back. So if we run this comment PDA to get that, and try to get this comment, and then try to console.log comment here, and but I think we might run into an issue there. I think you're just supposed to take that number and divide it by 8, and that's the number that should be in there. So probably will not get the right comment here. Did I get a comment? I don't know. I fetched a comment section, not even a comment, and I'm using the comment section PDA. So the talent PDA in the account that I want is actually of type comment. So we tried that. Okay, account does not exist. So yeah, that's a problem. So I think this should be a 4, actually. Try that. Oh, still problem. Why? This says comment section. Yeah, that's right. Comment in the comment section string that comes in. And that post a comment. And it says return comment section PDA. It's not even. It should be a. It shouldn't match that. It should be a comma PDA. At the very least, but this is just naming. It's just being returned, so it don't really matter. But yeah, comment section. Okay, I'll have to figure out what's wrong. Okay, so I need to correct something that I stated earlier, thinking that it would use the value um and it would use the value for post account after the function had finished. But no, it's actually 0, so it's an additional value. Uh, yeah, see, this really seems to be the case. I plugged in a 0 and then I got it. But yeah, I print out the count second that post count, so it did increment by 1, but the ID is actually 0. So yeah, I could just do this -1, and that would also be fine. And you run it, and then you get your comment. You get that comment from that account. See M4A message, see our timestamp, big number. post owner address ID. The ID is correct, but yeah, for the actual seed words, it is 0, although its ID is 1. So something to keep in mind. Okay, we could as well. I mean, I guess we can add an assert rate. Assert. The comment dot message is equal to the test message, the M4A message. Make sure the message is equal. Okay, then. We could also, if we wanted to host a bunch of comments, do a for loop for var I equals 0, 0, I plus plus. Now I less than, could just do a number, say 100, and then I plus plus. Um, if you wanted to, I do have some sort of set up that way actually, but yeah, yeah, you would just run this. I mean, this should still be fine. This will just keep going up and up and getting the next comment, so that should be fine. But it wasn't expected to. Oh, because of this post count, um, we'll make this. This should be, well, if we go set I to 1, so that to I, so that the post count is asserting what the amount of comments that get added. And yeah, definitely not going to sit and wait for this thing to go do 100 posts. Because you have to wait for each transaction to send. You see the IDs going out. So if you had wanted to test that, um, yeah, that's one quick way that you could do that. Control C, kill that. Something else. We should test the max message length because I think that'll actually throw an error. Um, Let me just say message. Using a website, this one, we can make, because we have no constraints in our contract actually, which we'll have to add. I guess that would be something to add. But yeah, this is 444 characters long, just so that we have a string to test out. Yeah, I'll just go throw that in there. In here, we got that. I'm try using this message. See if it breaks. So that this message is equal. Okay, let's see. Anchor test. Yeah, I would expect that to break. What message? Encoding overruns buffer. Not a very helpful error message, but I would suspect it's because there is not enough space being allocated to the comments. And there is, I don't know, there was a tutorial that I've seen that just basically said to add, like, multiplied by 4, and the max string amount, character amount that it could be, like, and plus these amounts, and that would be good. But like I like tested it um with just numbers until I seen it break or whatever, and from where it would break and be fixed, and it was way less than that amount. Obviously, you want to put in, I would put in a generous amount, like over wherever it was breaking, but let me see. What do we have? Probably just some constants at the top, like const, max, comment, list, length. Throw this up here. And follow that. Yeah, like just times 4 and increasing the size. We can do this and see if it fixes it for us. Um, so in here, like here, and also no, that's great. It's a comment section. The comment is what, yeah. Creating the comment section is fine. Just posting the comment. Okay, and the reply as well. Okay, now let me try anchor test. I think that, yeah, we're still rebuilt it. Let's see if that is it. Nope, still, still broken. Okay, so I had to figure out. It can definitely take 444, unless there was. I was pretty sure that I tested it out, but maybe for some reason it couldn't in here. But yeah, no, it definitely can on the website. But I'm guessing it's something else. So I'll have to figure it out. Okay, so this error basically means that what the transaction is trying to do is too big. One thing that you can do is you can print out around where you think the error is. That way you can be sure, since we didn't print out here too, it means that we didn't get that far. But anyway, I see like the problem that I actually did is that from that website, I did 444 words, not characters. So this is way longer. And yeah, the size of the transaction can't exceed like this many bytes. And if it does, then it won't work. But I know it definitely works with 444 characters. So this is what I actually want. 444 characters, not words. So just go ahead and redo that. Be much shorter. Get rid of that. Uh, some indenting here that I can do. It's a little overdue now. Okay. Okay, so now we have this message. That's actually 444 characters. And then this should work. Let's see. If it's so big, you'd have to do multiple transactions to make it work. Okay, now it's working. It's running through 100 comments, which we don't want. And yeah, so now that's actually working. Okay, cool. That's actually working. Don't need to. We do want to do our asserts. We do it like 5 times. So this works. Okay, so now if we get rid of this size, let's see if we have a problem. Like if we didn't increase it. So if we run it now, so run maybe 5 times of it. If we don't increase the size of the comment, I think that having it at the max length that we want to use, I think might cause problems. But let's see. So if we get rid of this, we're not adding this amount to the size. The limit is like what? 10,240 bytes, is it? Okay, yes. Anchor called with a comment. Anchor error caused by account comment. Error code account did not serialize. Failed to serialize the account. But that is an issue of there not being enough size for the account. But if we do this, can we increase the space size for the comment when we make it? And that's only if the message is too big, but the message is so big it wasn't fitting. But what I basically did was that because I seen like, because this is what I had research doing, but it seems like it's actually way too much. It's like 400 44 times 4, it's like 1600 something. But I guess something else that we could do before I forget. But let's see what we have around. I also want this require, right? If we want to get in our error, so let's just go ahead and grab something like this. We have our require statements. So before we even do anything, we come to post a comment. We say comment message message string must not be longer than 444 characters. And this require statement will basically check to see if we want the message data length compared to the max comment length. And we'll check to see if it's actually or if it's less than or greater than 444 or not. And then we want our error that we can actually return. You just make a new section up here. Um, yeah, you can call it message to log. We have all this other stuff that we don't particularly need. I think I can comment on this where yes, that the message is too large. And we have in our message can't be longer than 444 characters. So if we take this, we have this invalid length error, which we call up here. Then we have that inside of your message too long. So that if it fails, it will fail and it will print out this message basically. When it came to the size, right, I just ended up using just testing it out until I had a value that worked. This, and it ended up being 477. So not quite 444, but way less than fucking 1600, right? So we take this amount, comment flyer ID exercise, yeah, which is just sort of based on, I mean, yeah, it is affected by the max size that you can have. But now if we go put this amount in, which is way less than 1600, we go put this in, we just add it in, we're not multiplying by 4. But yeah, run this. Um, believe this should work. Let's see, but have a count about when it, yeah, 428 was when it started to pass. So I assume if I go lower than that, it shouldn't. So now if I'm increasing the size by 400, I think it won't serialize. But there just has to be enough space for the stuff that you're trying to do. That game, it didn't serialize. So I think that these numbers still hold. 428, let's see. Is that the, need at least 428, so this should pass. But if it's exactly the same, 427 would fail. So let's see if it's still the same from the last time. That passed. So if I increase the size of the common account by 427, let's see if this fails. No, I still passed, but I will do 470 just to be safe. And now we have this and an error message. So now if we try to put in more characters, we should get that error message that it's too long. Error code message too long. Error number 6,000. Message can't be longer than 444 characters. So we would get this. We would also get this in F12 when executing the contract. So it would also appear on the front end as well. So that works as expected. So now we have our requirement for the size and stuff and posting it. I guess we can just add one for posting a reply, and then it should be good. Post a per reply, and that's just what post reply like that, but it changes a little bit because it's a capital and 700 with a little. So we want to post reply. I mean, doesn't, oh, we also need the comment. We need that ID. So we should already have one. We already know that the ID, that actually this is it's not necessarily the ID, right? Because what we are doing, oh, in the comment, I think that this has to be in order as well. And another thing is that variables that you want to feed in to here have to come right after the context variable. If you put them like at the end or out of order, they will not get read in here and they won't work properly. Like this comment section name and comment ID. But it's not really the comment ID, it's really an index, I guess, or something. But the value is zero, right? Because it's not one. The first comment is actually zero. So maybe I should say comment index instead of comment ID. And that might be a little less confusing. But yes, it's really the ID minus one then, isn't it? Okay, make sure I got it in all the places. Comment index. And for posting the reply, you got the comment index. Comment index. But we don't. So the parent ID is really the comment index plus one, isn't it? If that's the case, don't let it to be wrong. If it was a zero, it should be a one for the first comment. So I think that's fine and it makes sense. Okay. Let's just do the first comment. I think that's okay. Why is that? Oh, the comment ID has to come first. For comment index has to come before the message. Okay, get comment section, and then we would basically do the exact same thing. So if we want to get the, no, it's still a comment. There are replies. There is an account. You want to get the reply PDA. You're treating it like that. I think it's a separate thing. A reply, comment section name and comment section. Yeah, I'll count. Minus one. This is also a reply. It's reply that message, checking that message. You have no reply PDA, but it's just like the comment one, except the word here is reply instead. And I've already talked about that. See U32 on the ID divided by 8 is 4. That's how we got that number. So we get reply PDA. These don't really matter because they're just internal value. Place this reply. Okay. Then the reply PDA. Okay. I think I should cover it. We're almost done. We're getting some basic tests, and then we can hook it up to the front end, and then we can figure out why it's not a good contract. Okay, expect it 41. Or am I doing that comparison? 54, line 54. Right, I guess it wouldn't be. It would have to be whatever that number stopped at when I went from 1, not 0, but yeah, so it ends up being 4 with the ID. So, what's a good way to know the number of posts? But I don't know. Because it already posts 4 comments, basically, and this is going to have to increase. I plus 4 would be enough, but it's kind of, yeah, kind of not clean, not smooth. But that should at least still work at least. Why not? Assert it 4 equal to 5. Is it actually one more than that, I guess? After you post it. And when you getting this, it's just checking it out. How is it actually? I would have thought that this number was a 4 and that this was the second number, but I'm not completely sure. I mean, that would be 6. So let's see what changes. So it is that number on the side. Um, So then 3, the post count. So we start at 1, already do 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4, because don't you get the 5? 5 is not less than 5. So I think it should only post 4 comments, which is what it did. So then I plus 3. A poster replied in our account does not exist or does not have data. Okay. So we were trying to get the PDA, and that's what failed. It was trying to get that specific account, comment section name, a comment section post count. Forgetting it. Reply, because that's what should have been fed to it, right? But I guess it's no. I mean, we haven't posted anything yet. We're to repost and post a reply here. You post a reply first, and then we're checking the number that it increased. Um, yeah. And I am trying to more freestyle this and just copy things. Okay, let me figure this out. So I think maybe a better way of doing this is kind of what I did for my other tests is that I had these running in the same loop. So we'll do post a comment and reply, and then you just basically throw this in here. Be like, so comment here. Makes it easier to see where it is. Post, reply. Don't want to declare these again. I already have the comment section PDA. Really wouldn't have to, because yeah, the PDA is not going to change. Fetching the comment section. Yeah, when we fetch it, definitely, because the values that are in it can change. And just promise that this is a constant. Let's make it not a constant. Okay, so when it comes to posting the reply, we would just want the comment section post that count. This will help us get the the index of the comment section, fetch the comment section again. Um, yeah, whatever this would be. I mean, it should just be more than I. Uh, let's do I plus 1 here. I think that makes sense. And so the and then I come. So yeah, no, this may not house count. Yeah, probably not. But if we just run it at 49, didn't think so. So the 1, they expected it to. Why wouldn't the post count go up when we post a reply? Oh, the post a reply successfully didn't do nothing. No. Yeah, that doesn't quite make sense because you should. The post count should already be 1. Console.log here. I guess just print before we get before we assert. You run that, and you get a 1 and a 1. It does not look like as though it's increasing after we post the reply. So that is a bug. When we post a reply, it should the post count should go up, and it did not. So that's a problem. Why? Looks like is it not being made mutable? Is it the same problem? Yes, same problem. So we add this mutable to the comment section so that when we post a reply, it can actually update it. And now we run it. Okay, so now we know it's actually going up at least. So yeah, want to set equal to. So now when we come here, we expect and we post this, it's 2, because we posted the reply, which is a 2, or is it 3 coming from? Because this is the post count. This should be a, okay, it's definitely, no, it's 37. Oh, it's failing here. What? Oh, is that as it looped or something? Maybe. So on the next loop, so let's see if we ran just once. Okay, when it goes back in, it goes back in. It expects this I to be 3, or the post count would be 3, right? But I definitely will not be 3, right? So yeah, that's just a problem if we're trying to watch this post count and loop. So I mean, a very simple way to do it is just to have a separate variable, keep track of it. Bar post count equals 0. And every time we post, you can just increase it by 0. I mean, that's simple enough, isn't it? Posted uh, plus equal 1, simple enough. Post count plus equal 1, get the reply somewhere. Post reply, these semicolons out here. Okay, so now we would just be comparing the post count, I guess. Um, I guess we might still have an issue with those eyes, but or actually, no, I guess we should replace the I with the post count. It's probably best. Replace the I with the post count. Okay, I think that that'll be. Oh, they're not right. But just why it's right. Now we try to on it longer. Spectrum 3. Oh, this needs to be on the outside of the loop so that it doesn't keep getting reset back to 0, right? So it's on the outside of the loop. It doesn't loop and it reset. Okay, are we good now? Okay, they all passed. We use the maximum message length. We got some stuff on to keep it from happening. Yeah. I mean, could have these still separated some other, but I mean, that's fine. There's a million ways to do everything, right? So now this works. Not using this test message. We tested out the max length and the requirements. So now I think that this should be enough to hook up to the front. And obviously we can't edit, delete, or vote or anything else. But yeah, just being able to post and reply will be enough to test out the UI. So we can do that next. And yeah, you don't want to move on to your UI until you get all your tests working because you see there were some bugs in our contract, right? And you get to the UI trying to figure out what's wrong. But yeah, I would definitely recommend getting your test to work before you even bother trying to hook it up to the UI. That'd save you some headache because then you'll have to come back to your contract and update it and redeploy it and all that stuff. And yeah. Okay, so before we can actually hook up our contract and stuff to the front end, we need to build and deploy this and get our idle file because that will be the file that's generated that helps the front end communicate with the smart contract and stuff, basically. Um, yeah, it just takes care of all that for us. We just have to deploy and build it right. So in order to deploy, we have to have the Solana test validator running, right? We can do an anchor build, make sure that it's built since the last time we built it. So it didn't really do anything, it's already built. But if we do an anchor deploy, that doesn't work. There's nothing to connect to. Trying to connect here, which is that this address is important later, but yeah, we have to run the test validator. So that's Solana dash test dash validator, and they were basically running us on node that you know that can we can deploy our contracts to it basically. But yeah, this is all being done locally. I think I had already configured it to local. Yeah. Yeah, this looks like the local um IP address. So that's running. So now if we do an anchor deploy, because there's actually something that we need to fix. We need to fix in our lib.rs file. We need to fix our program ID, and this actually gets generated when we deploy. So it'll change when we deploy it, and we need to re-enter that and then build and deploy it again. Actually, but okay. So now we do anchor deploy. It's running its test transactions, deploying it. So this is the program ID. We want to take. Actually, it looks like it's still the same. I guess if we ever do anything different and change it, it might change, but it's still the same. Okay. And also in here, I think this is the program ID. You also want to update that this is the program ID that's used for testing. I'm pretty sure that this anchor file is the program ID that's used for testing. But inside of the library, we'll definitely need this one to be correct on the front end. Because if it's not, it won't work. But it seems like it's still the same one. So we deployed it, and we have this idle file. So now that we have this is pretty much all that we need. Yeah, there are times when you have to delete this target folder when things are stuck and not working. A lot of times you can fix things by just deleting the target folder and rebuilding, but not necessary right now. So we have our new file, so we can go put that and say contracts Solana, and we'll just put it in there. So assets contracts, your folder, uh, Solana contracts. Okay, so again, yeah, new file chat.json. It's like in the remote thing. I'll just copy what's in it. Um, and come in here, Control A, and copy that. And so now we have our idle file that'll help us communicate with the test validator that is currently running. Also, we can do in another terminal Solana logs. And this is what actually prints out these messages here in the contract, and it'll print out down here when the contracts execute on the front end. So that's what I meant when I said I don't really think you can see them any other way unless you're testing in the front end. Um, okay, so we did that. Um, so we have like the wallet button, GitHub, and this code, like the README file, actually explains how to do a good bit of this, right? Really talk about how to actually use it for Anchor, and they give you this template that you can use basically. And then when you want to use it, you call this workspace and this program, and then you can call your contract functions and stuff, basically. But just going through this a little bit, let's say they got compute in front of you, use Anchor Wallet, it's just a wallet, public key, cluster API connection. So this connection, this is where we will need to update this to be it's really using the cluster API URL involved, but we need to use the local IP address, which I already have worked out here. Instead of that, it becomes new connection with that local IP address for the test validator. So, yeah, I don't fully understand the pre-flight commitment and commitment stuff, but that's just stuff that goes on the transaction. I've never had to really mess with it. But here they have it on there, but I actually don't even have it on this one. Maybe could have done that. But I mean, yeah, it has not seemed to cause any issues, but should probably still look into that. But there's just so much. Okay. Back here and initializing the workspace, have a wallet, and you have to use Anchor Wallet when you're using Anchor Wallet. If you weren't using Anchor, there's this other usage that's kind of set up where they use Wallet. And they're doing a test transaction, but for Anchor, that's a format that we can use. The provider viewed it. Um, yeah, all of that just getting set. I wish I could give more information about some of these things, but yeah, I'm sure that will come up. Uh, the program. I mean, our Rust program is the program, right? This thing. Um, the idle file. We have the feeder and our idle file that we got. The program ID, which it's inside of the idle file. Yeah, the program ID, which is that ID I was talking about. In the idle file. That's this up here. That's why I guess it's getting it from uh address. That's yeah. We get it from provider. I think going forward, I think maybe you even don't even need as much. Because this is just the idle file, and this is just the whole provider. But in this example, they just had the provider, but I didn't have to actually feed in the program ID. Um, so they might have made it simpler, but if I found that I didn't actually have to feed in something and it got it from somewhere else, then I didn't bother with it. Um, I mean, there are other things that I changed for other reasons, but if you were working from here, yeah, that's basically what you would follow. But I guess we can just go ahead and take this ever have gone over some of it, right? It's not really mine. Shoot anyway. And we have this anchor chat workspace. We have another M4A workspace for the M4A contracts. But yep, just this. I'm gonna just copy this. And I had already made a fork of the local storage version of this code, so it should be fine. Just adding this stuff now, it will be converted to not local storage. Okay, so now we got this. Angry about stuff. We definitely already imported that, but I think some other things are angry too. I think we might have to do an install for that. And we have no idle files. We have this chat and the directory is slightly different. It's on a contracts. Just got the one idle file, and it's looking for a second one down there. Uh, why is it still angry? Contracts. So on a contract with space chat. Jason. I mean, yeah, no, shouldn't be angry. But anyway, we have that, and I think calling this is the same. This is the thing that we're exporting. We're exporting this workspace that we can use to call everything, like all of our functions and whatnot. Um, and I think use, I think the use is I use it, but you have to initialize it. So if we go back here, like they have this for anchor usage and then use workspace. And okay, so we have that inside of our main file is where I end up putting it where it's you might get work best. So come here, go to main, mm, here, um, and then we set our use workspace here. And inside of some global variables that we had for Anchor programs that we didn't include before. So we got that stuff. We really just need this to import our workspace and our Anchor programs, global state for our programs. Uh, let's go to main. Okay, well, let's import this stuff. Okay, and let's actually use this chat stuff in this. Should initialize everything. Okay, select a contract index. That is something with the contract selector. We will just not use that for now. We will just get it working with one idle file instead of like two versions of it, just to show it, but we can add it back in later when we have the contract switcher. Um, okay, so I think that's, well, this ain't the same. This is supposed to, I'm just gonna rename this directory back to Solana so that it's the same like the other project. Come in here, Solana. Okay. Okay, but it's still saying that it can't find it. It's not cool. Okay, but we'll see if it works anyway. Okay, so we'll go ahead and stop here, and then we'll finish connecting the front end to the back end in the next video. So I will see you then.